Remember, guys, this video is sponsored by GoLogin. Don't miss out. GoLogin is the best browser for multi-accounting. Link is in the description. Back to the video. All right, let's jump into another deep dive. This time we're focusing on the early career of Taylor Swift. We've got this really cool biographical excerpt all about her rise to fame. And I'm really excited to see what it reveals about her path to becoming, such a global icon.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people think they know the Taylor Swift story, but this excerpt really digs deep into some of those moments and choices that really shaped her early trajectory, like those turning points.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when you think country star, you know what comes to mind? Like someone growing up in Nashville, like surrounded by music from day one. But Taylor's story, it starts on a Christmas tree farm in Pennsylvania. Like, what do you make of that contrast?
It really does kind of challenge that typical country music narrative, doesn't it? It speaks to her individuality, I think, right from the beginning. But even with that kind of unusual backdrop, you can still see these threads of musical influence kind of weaving their way in. Her maternal grandmother was an opera singer.
Oh, right.
Which exposed her to a whole other world of vocal performance.
Right, and maybe that exposure to such a diverse musical background, maybe that's what planted those seeds for her, to be willing to experiment with all these different genres later on.
Yeah.
But, of course, we can't talk about early influences without mentioning, like, those country music icons.
Right.
That shaped her sound. The source material talks about Shania Twain, Patsy Cline, LeAnn Rimes, the Dixie Chicks, all these really powerful female voices.
And those weren't just passing influences. Those were artists who, they broke barriers and really defined what it meant to be a successful woman in country music. They wrote their own songs, controlled their own narratives, and achieved incredible commercial success. It's almost as if young Taylor saw in them like a blueprint for the kind of artist she wanted to be.
And she had this drive, this determination, like it was apparent from a young age. The excerpt mentions that at just 11 years old, she travels to Nashville with her mom, armed with demo tapes of Dolly Parton and Dixie Chicks covers. That takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there like that, especially at such a young age.
It's a bold move for sure. And it shows that even then she was serious about pursuing a music career. And, while Nashville wasn't quite ready for her at that point, that experience really seems to have been kind of a turning point for her.
Because instead of being discouraged by that rejection, she focuses on songwriting, learns guitar at 12, starts working with a local musician, and even lands a development deal, which she ultimately walks away from at 14. Because it wasn't the right fit for her. That's pretty remarkable.
It really is. It shows a real level of self-awareness and a commitment to her own artistic control that you don't often see in someone so young. It's a clear sign that she wasn't just chasing fame. She was building a career, carefully considering each step and making choices that align with her vision.
And then comes that legendary Bluebird Cafe performance. She's playing her heart out. And in the audience is Scott Borchetta, who's a music exec who's about to launch his own label. It's almost like a scene from a movie. He sees her, hears her, and just knows, like right then and there, that he's witnessing something special.
And Borchetta's vision, it was really crucial in launching Taylor's career. He recognized not just her talent, but the potential of a whole demographic that the music industry was kind of overlooking at the time. Teenage girls who loved country music. It was a brilliant insight and a strategic move that would totally change the landscape of the genre.
And she didn't just wait for things to happen. She took an active role in promoting her music, even personally sending CDs